Welcome to our backyard garden in Sydney. 2024 has been a remarkable year, one that has seen our garden flourish like never before. In this video, we catalogue month by month of what we had grown throughout the year, following various plants' journey of growth in each month, from flowering to fruiting. Along the way, we will offer some gardening tips. From the sweet mangoes and mandarins to the juicy oranges, lychees, and crisp apples, our fruit trees have gifted us with a harvest beyond our expectations. These bountiful fruits are not only a reflection of the earth's generosity, but of the time, care, and patience we've invested throughout the year. But our garden offers more than just fruits and vegetables. It has become a sanctuary, an oasis where we find comfort, tranquility, and a much-needed escape from the stress and pressures of everyday life. Each moment spent tending to the soil, nurturing the plants, and watching our fruit trees, vegetables, and herbs thrive has brought us a sense of peace and purpose. The rhythm of gardening has been a powerful reminder that sometimes, the best way to heal is to reconnect with nature and embrace the simple joys that come from growing something with your own hands. Join us as we reflect on a year of incredible growth and abundance, where the harvest not only fed us but nourished our spirits, helping us find balance, peace, and joy along the way. January is the peak of summer in Sydney, with plenty of sunshine, occasional showers, and a few sweltering days. Our fruit trees are heavy with fruit, though still in the process of ripening. This year, our mango trees are especially prolific, weighed down with an abundance of fruit. However, a few days of strong winds caused many to fall, and the intense heat has caused some of the mangoes to crack. Despite these setbacks, there are still plenty of mangoes left on the trees. Dry conditions followed by a sudden influx of water, due to rain or excessive irrigation, can cause the fruit to swell quickly and crack. To prevent this, it's important to maintain consistent moisture levels in the soil. Avoid waterlogging, but ensure the tree is not exposed to prolonged dryness. In addition, strategies like using shade cloths, bagging the fruit, mulching, and pruning to improve airflow can help protect the fruit. Windbreaks, such as fences or surrounding trees, can also minimize wind stress and safeguard the mango fruits. Our multi-grafted apple trees are producing a lot of fruits, but netting is necessary to protect the fruit from both fruit flies and birds. Herbs and spices like Vietnamese mint, fishwort, lemongrass, perilla, chives, turmeric, and galangal, essential for our cooking, are incredibly easy to grow. I make sure we have a continuous supply throughout the year, so we never have to buy these ingredients, which can be quite expensive. February marks the final month of summer in Sydney. The fruits on many of our trees are either approaching maturity or have already ripened. This year, the Kensington Pride mangoes were the first to ripen. The fruits were wonderfully sweet and delicious. We enjoyed some ourselves, shared some with friends and family, but there was still plenty left over, so we decided to dehydrate a batch to enjoy later. I planted 2 longan trees in my backyard, but it turned out to be a mistake. These trees grow very large and tall, and they rarely produce much fruit. Managing and pruning them has become increasingly difficult. I've considered cutting them down, but I just can't bring myself to do it yet. I purchased this lychee tree from a nursery and planted it about 3 years ago, never expecting it to thrive so beautifully here in Sydney. The freshly picked fruit tastes so much better than store-bought ones, which are often stored for far too long. I've come across several articles claiming that longan trees are better suited to Sydney's climate than lychees. In my experience, longan trees handle winter better, particularly when it comes to their leaves, which remain healthier. Lychee leaves, on the other hand, can look a bit sickly in winter. However, when it comes to fruit production, lychees far outshine longans. By March, most of the fruits on our trees have ripened. Our mangoes, in particular, require frequent picking, often every day, to prevent them from becoming overripe on the tree and attracting insects and fruit bats. The ripe Kiew Savoy mangoes have already been harvested, and a second batch of fruit is already developing. This variety can produce fruit almost continuously throughout the year. Lychee and longan fruits also need to be picked this month. Once the lychees are harvested, new growth will emerge, and next year, these fresh branches will flower and bear fruit. The mandarins are growing larger, but it will be several more months before they are ready for harvest. Similarly, the pomelos are still young. These large fruits require a long time to mature and ripen. April is the middle of autumn in Sydney, with temperatures gradually cooling. Our pomelo fruits are growing larger, though they're still far from ripe. Similarly, our persimmons haven't reached maturity yet, and netting is necessary to protect them from birds. For the very first time, Fairfield City Council has introduced a new green bin for residents. They started delivering the bins to residents this month, but we will not be able to use it until the 3rd of June 2024. Usually my rubbish bin was full of branches and green waste, so this bin will be very useful. Initially, I wasn't sure if the pomelo fruits would be susceptible to insects or birds, so I decided to protect a few. However, I've since discovered that their thick skin makes them resistant, and netting is not necessary. Our mandarin fruits are turning yellow, but the fruits has not ripened properly yet. It need to stay on the tree for at least 1 month more in order for the fruits to accumulate full sweetness and flavor. All persimmon fruits has been harvested, and their leaves are beginning to fall. The second batch of Kiew Savoy mangoes are growing larger, and the oranges are almost ripe. Pomelo fruits are now ready for picking. While they may not be as sweet as store-bought, they're still wonderfully flavorful and delicious. Our Eureka lemons are ready for picking whenever needed, while the Tahitian limes are still maturing. Planting these 2 citrus trees in your backyard ensures a year-round supply of fresh juice for your cooking. Our oranges are now ready for consumption. We only pick what we need and leave the rest on the tree to ripen further. Because they are allowed to ripen fully, these Washington navel oranges taste so much better than store-bought ones. Cerurea Pretty pink flowers are now in full bloom. These flowers are so exotic and beautiful. This is the second time I bought Cerurea Blushing Bride, hoping that it will not die again. The Cerurea Pretty pink flowers have passed their peak, but they're still looking beautiful and continue to attract bees. These Eureka lemons are absolutely massive. The Cerurea Blushing Bride thrives during the cooler months, but unfortunately, it withered once summer arrived. Time flies, and by September, a new season is upon us again. Our fruit trees are once again in full bloom. This Thompson seedless grapevine, which I planted as a tiny cutting just 2 years ago, is already bearing fruit. Meanwhile, my autumn royal vine, planted 3 years ago, has yet to produce any fruit. I grew this pomegranate tree from seed about 5 or 6 years ago, and this year, it's fruiting for the very first time. I'm hopeful that the fruit will be as good as the mother tree. I visited Bunnings Warehouse and saw the last Kiew My pink lychee tree for sale at $80, so I decided to buy it. I planted it next to my Kiew lychee tree. Our Chok Annan mango is fruiting much earlier and better than any other mango tree this year, and I believe it will be the first variety to ripen. Pruning is essential for healthy fruit trees. Removing dead, diseased, or crossing branches helps the tree grow stronger and healthier. We have 4 varieties of grapes in our backyard. This one was supposed to be a seedless sun muscat, but I've discovered it has many seeds, so the label must have been mixed up. I'm disappointed since it took 2 years to reach this stage. With nourishing rainfall, the fruits on our trees have grown rapidly. Even the Kiew Savoy mangoes are fruiting better than expected. By the end of January or early February, we should be able to harvest them. Gardening cycles repeat year after year, and with each season, you gain more experience and wisdom. In fact, personal experience is the best teacher of all.